Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Bubba Bill Clinton. I want you to get comfy. You're in for a long ride. It's called the Trump train. We tried to derail it, but it's not. It's just chugging along, kind of like me on a Saturday night with a little Asti Spumante. Well, I'm going to go now. Have H.A. Goodman talk to you. Just want you to know what you heard about me was wrong. I feel your pain. I feel more than just your pain. And I just want you to remember that Creeper Bill, my name's not Creeper Bill. It's Feel Your Pain and Other Things Bill. No, I'm not Bimbo Dickens. There have been a lot of rumors about me. I don't want you to hear anything. I don't want you to believe any rumors, but if you hear any rumors about Trump from the Steele dossier that Hillary Clinton purchased, well, then believe them. We're going to go ahead and explain how Bruce and Nellie Orr worked with Rod Rosenstein. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hello from Washington. Hello, Washington State. Thank you so much for watching. And we are going to discuss something very interesting. It's probably one of the only times during the epic grilling of the DOJ Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, where he couldn't rely on number one, stating that it's classified. Number two, stating it's an ongoing investigation. Number three, stating I'm not doing the redacting, sir. Other people are. Number four, stating that it happened under Loretta Lynch or James Comey. He wasn't there. And number five, what was it? Oh, he can't comment on FISAs. So that was very obvious when he was using those lines that he was lying. But House investigators grill Christopher Wray and Rod Rosenstein in contentious hearing about the Trump and Clinton probes. So when people say, oh, I'm fighting, I don't want to sneeze. Okay. When people say, oh, well, Clinton will never get indicted. The reality is she eventually will. Pick a crime, any crime. And when it happens, they'll say, oh, my goodness, what a surprise. It won't be a surprise to you when you watch this, if you're watching this channel. And two of my amazing people in the chat, there's so much going on. I want to, just continue to kind of build on this momentum. This live stream that we've created is awesome. And I don't even think people have been getting notifications for the past couple, but they still reach over 500. And when they get the notifications, when YouTube sends out notifications, we're over 1,000. So I just want to thank everyone for their support in the super chat. Thank you so very much. The super chat fuels this channel. And it fuels the live stream. So I just want to thank you. If you have anything to say or you want to go ahead and bring up a point, would love to go ahead and read the super chat and talk about it. But so this is a Business Insider article, and Business Insider. Is this not okay? So Rosenstein became aware of Nellie Orr's connection to Fusion GPS sometime last fall. The interesting thing here is that he claims not to. Oh, Lord. Are you serious? All right, so that's funny. All right, so for some reason, I can't find the So, okay, I'll find you a different link. So Rod Rosenstein claims not to know, or claims not to have known, that Bruce Orr was working on the Russia probe. And he stated that, well, we don't, I found out after the fact. The problem, however, is that Bruce Orr was relaying information from Fusion GPS to James Comey. John Huber is the basically what they say is walking special counsel, but he's a federal prosecutor that Jeff Sessions has appointed as somebody who can indict people if they see, if he sees, criminal wrongdoing, which there's a heck of a lot of criminal wrongdoing. That's all a matter of the Inspector General and other people gaining enough evidence and exposing enough corruption for Republicans to finally act, and for the public to say, look, enough is enough. Democrats really don't care. They can actually purchase a Steele dossier and still think it's valid. So, and then not give their service to the DNC, and then still claim Russia hacked the DNC. I'm actually trying to find here. I don't know why the link that I found, very difficult to, reputable link, but it's very difficult to find within the article. Even though in the Google search, it has that very word. So Bruce Orr, Rod Rosenstein, testimony. Rosenstein was also asked about Bruce Orr. And okay, so let's just talk about Bruce Orr first, and we'll get to, so Bruce Orr. Who's Bruce Orr? Fusion GPS. Fox News, Judicial Watch sues DOJ for Bruce and Nellie Orr records related to Fusion GPS anti-Trump dossier. So I'll find you the exact link on YouTube regarding the questioning, but we'll just get into it right here. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch is suing the Justice Department for records related to Bruce Orr, his wife Nellie Orr, and their involvement in the now infamous Trump dossier. So the obvious question is, what on earth are Obama officials doing working with an opposition research company whose only goal was to spread gossip and hearsay about Trump? The Steele dossier is a garbage document. It's gossip and hearsay. We had I don't know how many millions of dollars, just was over 20 million for the Mueller probe, but almost certainly tens of millions of dollars spent by the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA, mainly the FBI and CIA, fabricating a Russian hacking myth and Russian meddling myth. And the two biggest pieces of quote-unquote evidence are a drunken conversation between Papadopoulos and Downer, so a low-level Trump aide and an Australian diplomat at a bar. So they're drinking, and it's the conversation of two men, not under oath. They're drinking at a bar. And the Steele dossier, which was purchased by Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Now, why on earth would they purchase something that wouldn't suit their interests? Could you imagine if the shoe were on the other foot? Could you imagine if Trump purchased the dossier on Clinton? They would cry. not only foul, they would say, "Oh my God, this is sexism. This is everything wrong in humanity." Bruce Orr, who has since been demoted from top post at Justice Department, was a close contact for British ex-intelligence agent Christopher Steele, who compiled the dossier on behalf of Fusion GPS. But why would Bruce Orr? Bruce Orr needs to be hauled off before Congress and testify. Why on earth would you have a top Obama official work with Fusion GPS? That makes no sense at all. That makes absolutely no sense at all. So I will go ahead. Okay, Bruce Orr, Rosenstein testimony. All right, so oh my God. So let's go ahead. Let's just look at Nellie Orr really quickly. Steele worked as a key source for the FBI, but was terminated for what the Bureau defined as, quote, as the most serious of violations and unauthorized disclosure to the media of his relationship with the FBI. But even after his termination, Steele remained in close contact with Orr, and their relationship was, quote, inexplicably concealed from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISA court. So, Louis Gomer. Okay, so Louis Gomer asks about Bruce Orr.
Jurisdiction, as you know, is public FBI.
Of course, he's been demoted over, but we all know that FBI Director James Comey was fired.
So here is PBS NewsHour, and it's 45 minutes in. And I'll go ahead and tweet this out. By the way, please go ahead and follow me at H.A. Goodman Author on Twitter. But let's say Twitter gets shut down or whatever. I go to Twitter jail. If you're on Gab, it's H.A. Goodman Author Gab. So it's at H.A. Goodman Author on Gab. And so if you're on Gab, definitely follow me. It's H.A. Goodman on Minds. But if you look right here, it's 45 minutes into testimony. Louis Gomer asks a very important question. Rosenstein then pretends not to realize that Bruce Orr worked on the Russia probe. And the reason I say pretends is that they always rely on bureaucracy. But then when they're caught, they say, well, I didn't know. But in a bureaucracy, in an environment where you're supposed to stand, you're supposed to use your post to make things more efficient, or use the powers that your post has given you to make things more efficient or to do your job. You can't simply just say every time you're cornered or caught, oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. He should have known. He should have known. And all right, let's go ahead real quick. So Rod Rosenstein. Okay, so here is Louis Gomer. It's on PBS.
We know of your letter. We know of your public statements. But here's a question. To your knowledge, who first proposed the idea of firing James Comey as FBI director?
Congressman, I'm not going to comment on that. The president has explained that he made the decision, and I'm not going to comment beyond that.
At the time you wrote the letter suggesting a firing, did you believe what you put in that letter?
Yes, I did.
All right.
So before we get to Bruce Orr, he states categorically that he believed that Comey should be fired. So there goes the obstruction of justice case. So the same people who are praising Rod Rosenstein don't realize that he also wrote the letter for Comey being fired, which then undermines the only way Mueller could ever really hurt Trump, which is a bogus obstruction of justice charge relating to a bogus investigation based on zero evidence. All of these people in Washington with their suits and their shiny desks and their titles, they think they're rock stars and they think they're really important. In the overall scheme of things, they're not very important at all. And in the overall scheme of things, you and I know that they're full of it. But let's go ahead and continue.
Right. If an FBI employee goes into a meeting as part of his job, in furtherance of his job, someone in the government, and he comes out and he makes a memo memorializing the meeting, perhaps in the future, past memory refreshed, is that memo DOJ property?
Generally, Congressman, I would think that it would be. It might depend on what's in the memo or what the subject matter is, but generally the answer would be yes.
Well,
so generally, Comey's memos would be property of the FBI or DOJ. So we'll get to Bruce Orr in a second, but this is pretty good. So we got 300 people in 16 minutes in, 300 people, and we're on our way to 500, very likely this live stream. But sniffles, sniffles, sniffles. Let's hear sniffles, sniffles, sniffles. Talk.
FBI employment agreement, there's a statement that says that, and this is the person agreeing to work for the FBI, all information acquired by me in connection with my official duties with the FBI and all official material which I have acted.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gomer, for 5 minutes.
Hold on, let's sorry about that. I had a link and it didn't work. I mean, this is working, but I want to find the exact part. So, I mean, it's really good. Gomer basically got Rosenstein to admit that, yes, he wrote the letter. He believed that Comey should be fired, and Comey's memos belong to the government.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here, Mr. Rosenstein.
Thank you.
Did you ever tell Special Counsel Robert Mueller that, in essence, everything you do must not only be just and fair? Employment agreement, there's a statement that says, against Kasich is just.
The chair recognizes.
Conversation.
Oh, my God almighty.
According to will get what the voting public deserves, and he's an idiot like Trump. And Martin O'Malley's completely free to wholly answer this question with one of those two words.
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. Hold on. Gomer.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gomer, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here, Mr. Rosenstein.
Thank you.
Did you ever tell Special Counsel Robert Mueller that, in essence, everything you do must not only be just and fair, but must also appear beyond reproach? Anything like that?
In essence, yes.
Yes. Well, since Attorney General Sessions recused himself, you are effectively the boss of the special counsel and staff, correct?
It is correct that I am effectively the boss.
Okay. Well, we all know that FBI Director James Comey was fired.
Claim that he made the decision, and I'm not going to comment beyond that.
So
the
the guy sniffles a lot.
The president has explained that he made the decision, and I'm not going to comment.
Sniffle.
Congressman, I'm not going to comment on that. The president has explained that he made the decision, and I'm not going to comment beyond that.
At the time you wrote the letter suggesting the firing, did you believe what you put in that letter?
Yes, I did.
All right. If an FBI employee goes into a meeting as part of his job, in furtherance of his job, someone in the government, and he comes out and he makes.
Now, this is important for the Comey. So we'll get there. We'll get to the Bruce and the Bruce Orr. We'll get to the Bruce Orr line where he says, "Yes, I just found that out." But
it's a memo memorializing the meeting, perhaps in the future, past memory refreshed. Is that memo DOJ property.
So is that memo DOJ property? Let's see what Rosenstein says again. We've already heard Rosenstein, but let's see what he says. It's very important. Lexdad1193, thank you. Thank you, Lexdad1193. H.A. Rosenstein's testimony was an embarrassment to law enforcement everywhere. He should have been fired during the hearing. Ridiculous. Absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever he was caught, he used one of the 5 excuses. It happened under Comey and Lynch. It's an ongoing investigation. I can't talk about FISA abuses. Or sorry, I can't talk about the FISA investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. I can't talk about FISA warrants. I didn't do the redacting. And gosh, it's so difficult for me to always get the 5. It's classified. It's classified. Hello, Australia. And so he used those 5 excuses. And then when he was caught, he just said, you know, I don't remember. And meanwhile, he's getting upset when Congress is demanding evidence. Evidence. No pillbox. Not even. Sorry. That's not true at all. But anyway, I don't see how I could. No, I have a good very good relationship. So anyway, let's go ahead and remove. The haters, you're right. The haters are coming out in full force, but there's a reason for that. You're going to see people when November comes along and Republicans sweep again, Democrats are going to try to find reasons, and the Democratic Party is going to be at a complete loss for words. They won't know what hit them. And they'll make another excuse, but it'll be a devastating victory. There's no momentum in terms of Democratic politics. There's just resist, which isn't actually it's actually the worst way. It's the worst description of politics. You don't resist in politics, you initiate. If you resist in anything in life, or you're allowing you're giving, by definition, you're giving the other person the initiative. You're allowing the other person to take the initiative. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So let's continue.
Generally, Congressman, I would think that it would be. It might depend on what's in the memo or what the subject matter is, but generally the answer would be yes.
Well, in FBI employment agreement, there's a statement that says that, and this is the person agreeing to work for the FBI, all information acquired by me in connection with my official duties with the FBI and all official material to which I have access remain the property of the United States of America, I will not reveal by any means.
So Comey wrote, Comey signed. Joshua Calvert, thank you. Rosenstein has been hanging with Tom Arnold for too long. Tom Arnold Coke. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Joshua. Chase. Thank you, Joshua Calvert. Thank you. Thanks for your kind words as well on Twitter. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Joshua Calvert. Thank you also for your kind words and your support. But Comey signed. So before we get to the Bruce and Nellie Orr debacle, that Rosenstein says, well, I didn't know anything about that. He's just backpedaling constantly. So Comey actually Comey signed a letter, signed documents saying, oh yeah, you know what? I'm not going to disclose any information. Then he writes memos, then they're classified. And then as Deputy Attorney General of the DOJ, Rosenstein writes that he's supposed to, go ahead and fire Comey, and yet appoints Mueller, who would then go after Trump for firing Comey. And this is to get even more absurd. There's no evidence of any Trump-Russia collusion. That's why when Eric Swalwell and like some other Trump is an unindicted subject. No, he's not a subject. Mueller can say he's a subject. He's lying. Mueller said he's not a target, but he's a subject. So they have to go ahead and hide between words. He's not a subject or a target. But even if he was a subject, then what is he a subject of? They don't even know what he did. They haven't even accused him of a crime. They haven't accused him of a crime. Rumi, Collis, thank you. Rumi, thank you so much for your continued support and your generosity. Thank you, Rumi. Keep America great. Red wave turning into a tsunami. Keep America great. Rumi. First of all, Rumi is a beautiful name, wonderful name. And Rumi Collis, thank you so much. 100%. It's turning in, and let's put it this way. Everyone, left or right, should want the swift, peaceful dismantling of the DNC. You cheat Bernie Sanders. You push a Russian hacking myth that gets us into a new Cold War. You're more hawkish than Trump or any Republican. You can't even say that peace between North and South Korea is a good thing. You downplay the meeting, the historic paradigm-changing handshake between Moon Jae-in of North Korea and Kim Jong-un. I'm sorry, Moon Jae-in of South Korea and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Hello, A Sojourner. Hello. But Rumi Collis is 100% right. I want to let you know something. I was on RT stating, and I stated this on television, that the House is going to remain, and let's hope Jim Jordan is Speaker of the House. The House is going to remain Republican, and the Senate's going to remain Republican. Might even do better than once previously thought. But Rumi Collis, thank you, Rumi. Thank you very, very, very much for your continued support. And just based on, thank you for that super chat. And because of that, I want to go to the ridiculous polls that are always wrong for Democrats. Midterm polls, November. Okay, Congress. All right. 5.9. So, ladies and gentlemen, it went from 13. So check it out. So, Rumi, this basically bolsters everything you're saying and I'm saying. Horace, Shabbat Shalom, Horace. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. Your continued support of this channel it's just wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Which means like in Hebrew, like peaceful Sabbath or like happy Sabbath. So Jews have a Sabbath on Friday night and Saturday, and then Christians on Sunday. So that's what Shabbat Shalom means. So Horace, thank you so much. Thank you. And I can assure you the people, most of the people yelling Nazi on Twitter don't know what Shabbat Shalom means because a lot of them just hate Israel. Rumi, but thank you so much. Speaking of the red wave, and this ties into Louis Gohmert, because Louis Gohmert's like this slow-moving Texas python, just getting Rosenstein and Ray in for them to admit their wrongdoing. But Rumi, thank you very much again. Horace, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you. And they went from, if you look right here, I mean, here's the Real Clear Politics. So here, everybody can go ahead and look. Real Clear Politics. If you want, I've sent you the link. So click on that link. Click on the Real Clear Politics link right now if you're watching. And you can see this is very, very similar. Very, very, very similar to Hillary Clinton's rapidly descending lead when she was running both against Bernie and Trump. Democrats are very good at the full court press initially. Then when people become wise to exactly what they stand for, the polls slowly dwindle. And then it's just from double digits to single digits. Then it's like, within the margin of error. But December, Democrats were up by 13. They were up by 13 in December. If you ask the average Democrat, oh my God, look what Trump has done. Look what Trump has done. Oh my God. So this relates directly to Rumi and keeping America great again, the red wave, which it's going to be, it won't be a blue wave. I don't know if it'll be a red wave, but it won't be a blue wave. And people will vote Republican. Right now, it's 46 to 40.1. Now, a couple weeks back, ladies and gentlemen, June 1st, it was a 3.2 point advantage. So in 1 month, what happened? We had the Inspector General report, and we had peace talks between North and South Korea, and we had President Trump meeting Kim Jong-un in an historic meeting. So please tell me, somebody tell me, anybody tell me how it goes from 3.2 to over 7 and now 5.9. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not possible. It's complete nonsense. Democrats are on the ropes. They're very much on the ropes. There was, let's see, was there a recent poll? Poll Trump. Poll, Black, Asian, Hispanic support enough to help Trump win re-election. What was I saying? I don't want to pat myself on the back. I'm not going to pat myself on the back. I don't want to do that, okay? I don't want to toot my own horn. But what was I saying? I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, for a long time, there's going to be more African American, more Latino, more Asian, and more Jewish voters, and more minority voters voting for Trump. And if you, I think, yeah, you're just going to see more. And here's, okay, so confidence that African Americans, Asians, and Hispanics have in their personal finances improving over the next 4 years should be enough to help GOP leaders retain control of Congress in the midterm elections. I knew it. And that's what's going to take place. I have a very, very, very intelligent buddy who's a Democrat. Good guy, great guy, even though he's a Democrat, okay? And he is a great, really great human being, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. And yes, he's a Democrat. He won't even, I'm talking about a gentleman's, like, different from, oh, bet you that, Clinton doesn't get indicted. It's like different, okay? You're talking about the legal system that anything can happen. And I'm telling you she will, but whatever. If there's another cover-up that I don't know about, what can I do? But if there's an election, the great Mary P. The great, thank you, Mary. I'm not Nostradamus, but I can tell you something. So he won't even, just a gentleman's handshake for lunch. He won't even bet lunch. Okay. And then he always like changes the wager. Well, who gets the most votes? Well, what about Speaker of the House? Let's just do it that way. First, he wouldn't bet me the Senate. Okay, so because I said House and Senate, let's go. He goes, no, I don't want to bet the Senate because of whatever, the advantage to Republicans. So I go, okay, House of Representatives. Well, he's like, okay, well, you know what, this, that. I'm like, no. You have to. Thank you, the young baby boomer. That's very kind of you. You have to, Speaker of the House. Very simple. Don't give me this Democratic, groupthink doublespeak. Who's going to win Speaker of the House? We have lunch. Go Burger King, whatever. It's not. I don't have to, go to like Bistro Gardens or whatever. Just oh no, because then I'll rub it in. He doesn't want that. He's a really intelligent guy, good guy, but I was right about Trump. He lost that. Okay. He said Clinton was going to win. I said, no, he's not. Says, no, she's not. But they know the writing's on the wall. So there's just, what happens when like a wounded animal's corner, they go at it, everything. So they're a wounded political party. And you need a swift and quick dismantling of the Democratic Party, and election losses will do that. And it's not even about value system. It's about donors. The more they lose, the more the donors will leave them. So I was saying this, there's going to be more minority voters, and Zogby Analytics, okay, even though President Trump receives little support from these groups, things might be going on, but he receives a good amount of support. 30% of Latinos voted for Trump, like 27 or 28% of Latinos, 30% of Jews, close to 30% of Jews. I believe something like 20% of Asian voters. Hold on, let's find out how many. 2016, how they voted, demographics. Okay, so how groups voted, Roper Center, 2016. All right, so 27, so I was wrong. 27% of Asians, almost 30% of Asians and almost 30% of Latinos voted for Trump. Almost 10% of African Americans voted for Trump. More than Romney. %52%. So 52% of women voted for Trump. Or was it 52% of white women? No, 50. It says, wait, how am I reading this? I think it was 53% of white women, something like that. But you have 30% of Latinos, 30% of Asians. I know 30% of Jews voted for Trump.
What about?
So, and it'll be more. I agree with you, Ace Sojourn. It'll be more. So keep America great again. Rumi Collis, yes, you're 100% right. 5541 James, thank you. Hey, H, keep up the hard work. We all appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, 5541 James. Thank you. Thank you very much. So greatly appreciated, 5541 James. Thank you. Thank you, Horace, as always. Thank you. And Shabbat Shalom to you. Thank you, Horace and Rumi. Thank you very much. So Rumi, your vantage point is backed up by relevant research, not the polls that say, what do you think of Trump's personality? 80% of Americans think that Trump is overly confident. Yeah, that's his personality. That's Trump. He's a very confident guy. 470 people watching right now. So Bruce Orr was working with Fusion GPS. He was a top Obama official, and Ron Rosenstein did not know. Why is that? Why is that? Let's continue with Louis Gomer.
Any information, material from or related to FBI files, or any other information acquired by virtue of my official employment, if you make a memo of things that were discussed as part of your job, then it would be a violation of that agreement to send that to someone to leak to the press. Isn't that right?
It well may be.
All right.
It well may be. What about for Comey? Well, we don't know, but it well may be.
In the question I'm about to ask, I'm not asking what you may have told Attorney General Jeff Sessions. I don't want to know any words used or ideas conveyed, nor sources referenced. In fact, I'm asking a question that could not possibly have any other answer other than one of two words. That would be yes or no. You are completely free to wholly answer this question with one of those two words, and neither word is privileged, confidential, or classified. Here's the question. As Attorney General Jeff Sessions' deputy, did you give Jeff Sessions any advice regarding whether or not he should recuse himself in the matter of the Russian investigation? Yes or no?
No. Can I give a little bit of an explanation?
So he says no on that, but let's just Space Force One. Thank you, Space Force One. Space Force One to Central Command. Love your channel, but the green sweater has to go. Go, geez. Perhaps it's a hand-me-down for Margie Bunker. Wow. If so, let it hang with dignity in the closet. This is actually back on routine patrol. Space Force One. Yes, is that Space Ghost? Well, first off, Space Force One, thank you for your generosity and thank you for your support of this channel. Thank you so much. Space Ghost has a special place in my heart because Space Ghost is probably one of the greatest characters of all time. Perhaps my favorite superhero, if you could call him a superhero, but Space Ghost is the best. And you know what's funny? This is actually a this is a Joe Frazier Lines sweatshirt. So Joe Frazier, I guess I don't know if it's Joe Frazier, you know, himself, the boxer, but this is actually a Archie Bunker. But if you see in the back, it says Joe Frazier. But you know what? Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and you are absolutely wonderful. Actually, you know, not just because you've advised me, it is getting a little warm, so I'll take this off. So here you go. Space Force, Space Ghost, thank you. So, Space Ghost, I appreciate Space Ghost. But Space Force One, thank you. Rumi, thank you. Space Force One, thank you. It's very comfortable too. Very, very comfortable. But okay, so let's just get to the nitty gritty.
His wife Nellie was a Russian expert and was paid by Fusion GPS.
Thank you, Lord. 3 minutes and 35 seconds into this.
Yes, and then of course we found out that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So let's just memorialize this. And to memorialize this for posterity, we have to memorialize. Oh Lord, 521 people on this. 3 minutes and 37 seconds. So 3 minutes and 37 seconds in. Ladies and gentlemen, Space Ghost, Space Force One, Rumi, everybody, and thank you both for your generosity. And you know, the live chat, the super chat fuels this live stream. I would not be doing live streams if it, you know, I mean, I want to interact with everybody, but my uploads were very good in terms of, you know, incentive to keep, you know, doing YouTube and everything. But this is, you know, definitely incentive to just keep doing these interactions and speaking and, you know, talking with people, and it's just wonderful. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. This is actually from Louis Gohmer's YouTube page. So it's pretty cool. Louis Gohmer has a YouTube page. I believe it's from Lyle Budd. I found out where secret clearance. A secret clearance guy, tech guy. My money is on the FBI. So Lyle, just because YouTube is like, you know, has all these policies, but Lyle Budd, thank you. somebody at the Navy to find out the truth. Lyle Budd, thank you, Lyle, Budd. So my money's on the FBI. Yeah, I did a whole RT segment on that. So that was on Crosstalk. That was a heated crosstalk. But this is the Louis Gohmert. Actually, the Louis Gohmert. So here, finally, hallelujah. Thank the good Lord. Thank the good Lord. So here it is. I've been farting around trying to find this for about 2 hours now. Okay.
His wife, Nellie, was a fusion Jeep. Been demoted down from yours?
I haven't counted, but he was down the hall.
So he's like, I haven't counted how many floors down or, offices down, but he's down the hall. Ha, 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 ha. So Bruce Orr is like walking distance from Rosenstein. So thank you, Rumi. Thank you, Space Force One. And thank you, Lyle. So walking distance. And, oh, by the way.
All right. And, of course, he's been demoted over a relationship with Fusion GPS. And then, of course, we found out that his wife, Nellie, was a Russian expert and was paid by Fusion GPS through summer and fall of 2016, helping the Clinton campaign get apparently a dossier from the Russians. How well do you know the people that work on your hall?
Well, it varies, Congressman. I think that's precisely it. It varies. Some of them I know well, some of them I don't know as well.
It varies. So Rod Rosenstein knows exactly what he's going to ask. Rod Rosenstein knows exactly what he's going to ask. And Rod Rosenstein's just not going to, he's like, I'm not going to fall for it. So what Gohmert is doing is he's saying, look, do you know that Bruce Orr is right near you in that DOJ building? He's right across the hall. And oh by the way, do you know him well? Do you know what he's up to? Do you know that he would be working with Comey, feeding Comey a Steele dossier that is complete and utter gossip?
All right. Of course, everybody has some opinions, political opinions or otherwise. The key is not having those affect or bias you in the Department of Justice.
Correct.
Well, here is Mr. Strzok, some of his texts talking about Trump. He's an idiot like Trump. And Martin O'Malley's, a D word. Can't tell you how little I care right now. It's talking about the Republican convention, so much more substantive than the representative debates. He goes on, at some point, the Republican Party needs to pull their head out of their blank, shows no sign of occurring anytime soon. Of course, he's, the F, we were told by Christopher Wray, stands for fidelity, but these were all made in the course of infidelity. And then he makes slurs against Kasich. It's just unbelievable. I truly.
So Christopher Wray was saying that the F is for fidelity, but as you can see, they were stooping. And they were in unholy matrimony. It was a heated Sodom and Gomorrah episode, let me tell you.
We hate these people. Talking about the Republicans, no support for the women who actually has to spend the rest of her life rearing this child, but we care about, quote, life. And then a-holes. How the F can he be a Republican? And on it goes. America will get what the voting public deserves, and that's what I'm afraid of. God, Hillary should win 100 million to 0. Did you hear him make a comment the size of it? Anyway, this is not just political opinions. This is disgusting, unaccountable bias, and there's no way that could not affect a person's work. Were you aware of just how biased Mr. Strzok was?
No, I was not.
No, I was not. I was not aware. What did he do when he was aware? Apparently not much. Apparently the Office of Professional Responsibility. So the interesting thing is there's a lot longer segment that I have to find, but I guess it's better than nothing. So when he was talking about Nellie Orr and Bruce Orr, he was setting, hello, Thailand. Hello, Thailand. When he was talking about Nellie Orr and Bruce Orr right now, 3 minutes and 30 in, he was setting Rod Rosenstein up. And so I'll find you for the next live stream the actual where he says, look, do you know did you know that Bruce Orr was working on the Russia probe? Oh, I didn't. And it might have been also another congressman, but I think Gomer as well.
Thank you. One final thing. I'm asking a question. The answer is not classified nor privileged. Based on information believed, to the best of your knowledge, has the FBI ever used work product or report, any part of which was paid for by a political campaign, political party, political candidate, or prepared on a campaign?
So he's talking about Bruce Orr again. Because Bruce Orr relayed a document purchased by Hillary Clinton to James Comey and the FBI.
Candidate's behalf.
Congressman, the issue that you're...
The time of the gentleman has expired. The witness may answer the question.
I know that we're at least one committee, House Intelligence, that has access to that information. I believe that they'll get whatever information.
So I'm asking a general question. I'm not specific.
The time of the gentleman has expired.
But I'm asking
you to answer the question in the form that was already presented.
Personal knowledge, but I'm not representing. I don't know everything about the FBI.
And
I don't know everything about the FBI. That's a new one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't know everything about the FBI. He doesn't know everything about the FBI. What do you want from the poor guy? He doesn't know everything about the FBI. So there you go. There you go. He doesn't know everything about the FBI. And so Rod Rosenstein didn't know Bruce. All right, so they ask, did you, Gomer, to your knowledge, did you know that Bruce Orr was meeting with Christopher Steele? Oh, thank God Almighty. Finally. It only took me an hour. Only an hour. You said earlier Bruce Orr was not working on the Russia investigation. Let me ask you, Rosenstein, to my knowledge. So you hide behind bureaucracy, and then if you're caught, you then go ahead and say, well, golly gee, I didn't know. But that you're supposed to be this bureaucratic, wizard. You're supposed to warrant all that power. You didn't know that he was working. So to your knowledge, finally, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour in, 1 hour of all this craziness, 1 hour in, To your knowledge, did you know that Bruce Orr was meeting with Christopher Steele, getting information about the dossier and supplying that information to the FBI at the same time his wife, Nellie Orr, was working for Fusion GPS? That was helping Hillary Clinton. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's right there. And he says, no, I did not. No, I did not. Correct. You did not know that? Correct. Well, what's correct? It's either yes or no. Okay, so his office a couple doors down, but you had no idea actually go between that information. So there you go. So there you go. Here's the link, the transcripts of actually, I believe, a Hannity segment. Love is a 4-letter word. Have a great weekend, HA. Much respect. Thank you. Thank you. Love is a 4-letter word. Thank you so much. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you for your continued support of this channel. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I think we all deserve it after dealing with all this insanity. I think we all deserve a great weekend after dealing with all this insanity. I'll leave you with this, and I want everyone to remember what I'm telling you, okay? Thank you, love is a 4-letter word. Again, thank you so much. All of this is going to eventually continue to hurt the Democratic Party. Hillary will eventually be charged with crimes. Pick a crime, any crime. Can't tell you when. It's slowly taking place. She circumvented an obvious criminal charge in the Espionage Act. Obvious, even under stupidity or ignorance. She circumvented obvious criminal charges because of James Comey, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Kevin Kleinsmith, Sally Moyer, FBI agent 3.6, FBI agent 4.7, FBI agent 5.672, James Clapper, James Comey, Christopher Steele, Glenn Simpson, Sidney Blumenthal and Cody Shear, 2 Clinton operatives who were part of this. So what? I have about 16 people I just named. I just named about 16 people. And I haven't even gotten to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Donna Brazil, everybody at CrowdStrike, everybody at Fusion GPS, everybody at Platte River, everybody at Dado Inc., Cheryl Mills, Heather Samuelson, David Kendall, all of these people. Her lawyers, those are her lawyers. Then the most important person of all, Brian Pagliano. I say this with all due respect. You have to be a tech genius to be Brian Pagliano. I'm talking about a genius. Probably like Bill Gates' genius. I'm talking like Paul Allen, Bill Gates' genius. To be able to rewire existing networks to ensure that Hillary gets her top secret intelligence, that takes not just, that's difficult to do. Of course, you have to be allowed to do it, but it's difficult to do. I mean, you have to be a genius. You have to find some kind of way that is just so like surreptitious or below the radar that that they Mark Zuckerberg genius. Wait. Exactly. So all of this is you can't hide. Like when Democrats are like petulant. They're petulant and inept. So they're like, can't prove anything. Well, he didn't say this. Oh, well, you know what? Sorry. Lost the election, huh? It's Russia. Where's the evidence? Oh, Now, the really hilarious part is that, oh, by the way, the Russian internet people are like, yeah, we're going to fight this in court. So you're not going to go ahead and not going to accuse us. I'm going to fight this in court. And now they're like, oh, oh, I have to provide evidence, huh? What? Uh-oh. This is definitely HA before dark. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. We did a good little over an hour. Solid hour. And Rod Rosenstein pretends that he doesn't know. He doesn't know that Bruce Orr, a couple offices down, worked with Fusion GPS. He didn't know Strzok was so he didn't know Strzok was so hated Hillary so much. He just didn't know anything. He was completely clueless. Give me your thoughts below, ladies and gentlemen. You have a blessed day. I'll see you this evening before HA After Dark. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. To the Super Chat people, all I can tell you is you keep this incentive going for the Super Chats. You fuel the Super Chats. And I just want to thank you so very, very much. Lyle Bud. Access is all you need. Lyle Bud, 100% access. That's 156 million. So Lyle Bud is wrapping this up with a great sentiment. Access, exactly. Oh, access. Oh, Brian Pagliano. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, maybe I guess you're right. Maybe you don't have to be Bill Gates, but you need access. Lyle Bud, thank you. Thank you, Lyle. You are all wonderful. You are all absolutely wonderful. And I will see you soon. Have a fantastic Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your support. To Super Chat, thank you for your support. IS Uringman 1974. Appreciate HA very much. Nearly 600 down watching. $5 donation each challenge. Let's give HA some love. Thank you. Thank you, IS Uringman. Thank you, 1974. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Lyle Budd, thank you. Space Force 1, thank you. Rumi, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Super Chat is absolutely fantastic. Have a great day. I will see you all this evening. Hit subscribe, share this segment. Thank you.